I think the biggest contribution is the support that it gives. We mentioned that making these lifestyle changes is hard, especially at first. And when you surround yourself with people that are supportive and they are encouraging you and you're seeing their success stories, and you can just really build on that.
Welcome to the Expressoul Health and Wellness Podcast. In each episode, you'll learn from experts about the best practices and technologies to live a happier, healthier, and hopefully a longer life. Here is your host, Claudia Erdenola.
Welcome, dear friends from Expressoul Health and Wellness Podcast. My name is Claudia Urdinola. I am an engineer with passion for health and wellness. And in this channel, we talk with doctors and experts in the healthcare industry to teach us better ways in which you and I can learn in how to take control of our health, to be vital, feel happier and healthier for longer time. So this is a subject of your interest. Please subscribe right here to our channel and hit the notification button so you will never miss every time we post new information in our channel. Also follow us in all our social media channels. We would love to have you there. Also, remember, we bring this content free of charge to you, and we kindly ask you to support our sponsor, Expressoul Coffee. Expressoul Coffee is my brand of coffee, and I design this coffee with your health in mind. My coffee, Sana, is 100% organic. It's organic from the seed, and it's organic from the processing plant because we are certified organic at my roasting processing plant. Sana, as well as my other brands of coffee in Expressoul Coffee, are low acidic, and we work with small farmers from Colombia, Central America, and South America. We make sure that these farmers take care of the environment. They really care about the waters, the trees surrounding the coffee plants, the soils that are organic and mostly volcanic soils, very rich in antioxidants, very rich in nutrients that are finally in our beans. We roast this coffee at perfection because we want to respect those levels of antioxidants and nutrients that finally get to you and your body can enjoy them without hurting your belly because we are low acidic coffee from the high altitudes mountains in Colombia, Central America, and South America. So go to www.expressoul coffee. I have a discount code right here for you. Down below, also in the description box, is podcast 15. The discount code is podcast 15. Podcast 15 for a 15% off on your order. Go to www.expressoulcoffee.com, put the code podcast 15 at the checkout, and get 15% off in your entire order. And remember, shipping is free after $50 of purchase. So you may purchase 3 bags, you got the discount on 15%, and shipping is free. It's a great deal, and you will have this at the convenience of your house, delivered to your front door. And you will try the most delicious and healthiest coffee available in the market. Expressoul Coffee, www.expressoulcoffee.com. So thank you very much, and I hope you try my coffees and let me know how much you like them. So last week, my husband and I had the amazing opportunity to go to the Low Carb for Better Health event that was held at the Montgomery Bell State Park outside of Dixon, Tennessee, just like 45 minutes outside of Nashville. What a beautiful place. More than an event, I would say it was like a retreat. Just to getting into the venue with all of those trees and full of birds and the deer running. It was just an experience. And I'm telling you, for us, this is the first time that we, with our coffee, with Expressoul Coffee and our podcast, Expressoul Health and Wellness Podcast, we were sponsoring the event. And it was phenomenal. I have to say, Amanda Decker, the organizer of the event, did a fantastic job. And everything was fabulous. It was great organized. The attendees were amazing. We have over 350 people attending the event, plus other 100 plus virtual attendees. So it was excellent. And we got the opportunity with my podcast to talk to the speakers, which were amazing. some names that you recognize in these YouTube communities. Dr. Ken Berry and Nisha Berry, his wife, they're very popular in YouTube on their channels talking about the ketogenic, keto carnivore, and carnivore diets. We also had the opportunity to talk to Dr. Eric Westman. He is a doctor at the Duke University, and he is an expert into the ketogenic diets and metabolic and how to cure and reverse metabolic diseases. Talking to him was very enlightenment. Talking to Dr. Ken Berry was amazing. And you're going to see all of that here in my channel, so stay tuned. We also had the opportunity to talk to Jennifer Williams. She is a nurse, family nurse and practitioner, and expert on metabolic diseases, especially in how to reverse diabetes and the effect of cortisol into weight loss. So she was with us also briefly talking in how was going to be her, her presentation to the attendees to the event. So you're gonna hear that. We have Autumn Weathers, which, Autumn was with us a couple weeks ago. She was also presenting at the event and her presentation was great. Also talking about her event, Ketopalooza, which is going to be in September in Louisville, Kentucky. Another great event for the low carb and keto communities. Very interesting. We have Craig Emmerich, which he has been in our channels a few months ago. Craig Emmerich is Maria's Emmerich husband. He's an engineer like me. And he gave us a great presentation in how, and showing in a very, very intuitive way, how is the process in our bodies of losing weight? What happened when we start using the energy from healthy fats instead of carbs? So it was very interesting presentation, and then Amanda, that was Amanda Decker, that was organizing the event. She was also, briefly talking and asking questions to the speakers. But I want you to listen, Amanda, because in her talk, we also want to prime you, to prepare you for next year's event. We want the next year event to be big. We want more people getting into this awareness that are better and healthier ways that we can take control of our health and be implementing better foods, better diets that are sustainable in the long term and that can reverse metabolic diseases, but also keeping us away from the doctor, healthy and younger and happier. So here is Amanda Decker again. She's the organizer of the Low Carb for Better Health event that every year is in Montgomeryville State Park in Tennessee, outside of Nashville. So here is Amanda. And again, remember, you're going to see those interviews with all of those doctors at the event here in Expressoul Health and Wellness Podcast with you, Amanda Decker. Amanda, good to see you.
Good to see you.
We're very happy here in Dixon, Tennessee for the second time that you are organizing this wonderful event, Low Carb for Better Health. So let's talk to our audience. What is this event about? This is exciting. Who gonna be our speakers this year?
Yeah, so the event is just about using the low carbohydrate lifestyle to better any part of your health, your physical, emotional, spiritual health, any way that we can. We have speakers that are speaking to each of those avenues. So we've got Miss Jennifer Williams. She's going to be speaking about diabetes and cortisol. We have Autumn Weathers from Watch Autumn Keto. She's going to be speaking on mindset. Nisha Berry is going to be speaking on long-term motivation. You make these changes, Claudia, and it's hard to stick to.
Very hard.
And so coaching us and teaching us how to stick to these things long-term. We have Mr. Craig Emmerich that's going to be speaking to the weight management and weight loss side of the low-carb lifestyle. We have Dr. Eric Westman, who is one of the founders, I feel like, of low carb, and he's been with this movement for a long time. He's going to be giving us some ideas on how to use the carbohydrate restricted diet to focus on many different illnesses, not just weight loss, not just diabetes, but it can affect many, many different illnesses. And then Dr. Berry will be with us, and he's a social media guru, I feel like.
Dr. Campbell has been coaching us for years.
He's helped so many people.
It is amazing, and it is because the way that he explained in a very easy way how we can implement those protein-based diets to detox and heal our body. So I think this is great. This is amazing. You have an amazing group of people speaking this year. So what is, in your opinion, the big, I would say, the most positive contribution that these kind of events do into, the local people that are coming to your event, but this year you also open the virtual participation. So for many, many people coming and listening the speakers, watching the whole session live, what is the real contribution that these events bring to the lives of those?
Absolutely. I think the biggest contribution is the support that it gives. We mentioned that making these lifestyle changes is hard, especially at first. And when you surround yourself with people that are supportive and they are encouraging you and you're seeing their success stories, and you can just really build on that. And that is the mainstay of this event. It is giving you the community that you need to support the life changes and better your health.
Absolutely. And you touch on something that is really important, and is the mindset. Because this is where really the make it or not is into changing a lifestyle. So I guess we're gonna have different speakers, different angles on going into how to successfully achieve the keto diet, the ketogenic life, because basically it's like a lifestyle change. So how many people are we expecting this year?
So we have a total of 346 attendees that have purchased tickets, and that's between virtual and in person. It's very exciting.
It is awesome, and the venue is absolutely beautiful this year.
It's retreat-like, very much retreat-like.
It is awesome. So plans for next year?
Yes, we are already planning, and we're going to be back at the same venue. We're going to be at Montgomeryville State Park Lodge, and like I said, it is a retreat, and so when you're coming to this event, think of it as relaxation and time to reconnect with nature, connect with those around you. It's not just hearing the low carb message, but also reconnecting with the life.
I think it's a good way of putting it. It's like a retreat. We are based in Florida, and we came here, and just to start driving through the park gives you a totally different feeling. It's so nice. So I think this is awesome. And for those of you that you never heard about this event, a lot of videos are gonna be posted on my channel in the Expressoul Health and Wellness podcast. We're gonna have some chats with the doctors. We're gonna be interacting with the attendees. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. And again, big encouragement for you, if you didn't know about the event and couldn't attend this year, to book next year, because these kind of events are excellent. You're gonna listen the latest and greatest into the research and how this new ketogenic style of life is so good at supporting health changes. So Amanda, you're working so hard. Your team has been working so hard in putting all of this together. How did you see your evolution since the first time you made this event available for people?
So the first event, I didn't know that I would have anybody show up. I was like, I feel like I'm going to be lucky if I have 50 people show up. And we had a great response. There was 234 tickets sold the very first year. And
incredible.
It was low key in a high school gymnasium. It was nothing fancy about it whatsoever. COVID hit us right before the event, but we had 178 people that came. And the feedback that we got was, we needed this.
Absolutely.
We needed a connection outside of the clinic. We needed connection outside of our homes to help us with these lifestyle changes. And you please got to do it again. So we did it again, and we went bigger, and just to give people more of that retreat-like experience, the real conference-like experience, not just something that's in somebody's backyard, but it feels legitimate.
Amazing. So for this year, I know that you have great sponsors. Tell us about them.
Yes. So my business is sponsoring this. I put my money where my heart is, and so we're one of the big sponsors here. We also have Keto Chow, which is very well known in the ketogenic community. They have a great heart for just making the ketogenic diet easy, and so they are here. you guys are here, Expressoul Health and Wellness Podcast, and not Health and Wellness, yes, Health and Wellness Podcast, and also Expressoul Coffee, giving us some delicious coffee at the event, but also sharing your heart with this just to get the message to anybody who wants to listen and share your stories along the way. You have great stories that are there.
Why this healthy coffee is much better for them than that commercially available coffee that is, old and over roast, and all of the nutrients are killed, and they don't gonna have any of the nutritional value that the good coffee has. Absolutely. Clean coffee that is good for them, organic. So it's so good that a lot of people here at the event gonna try our coffee. Tell us about the other sponsor.
Yes, so the last sponsor that we have is Paleo Valley and Wild Pastures, and their passion is to share high quality grass-fed meats with anyone in the forms of beef sticks, but also Wild Pasture. You can buy meat that is an individual package and have it shipped to your home. But their message is just to making meat and this lifestyle accessible to anyone.
This is so good, and I feel that we are now at some kind of food revolution, because thanks to all of these outlets of information, we're finding out what is real good food for us and what is not.
Absolutely.
And we can agree that some changes not work for everyone the same, but in general, eating less carbs.
Absolutely.
Are good for
That's
the humans.
my handle is Decker Less Carbs. Everybody can eat less carbs. You don't have to eat no carbs, but you do need to eat less.
So this is awesome. We're all excited. The event starts tomorrow at the Montgomery Vale State Park. It's a beautiful venue, and we're gonna listen all of those great speakers that you have this year. This is exciting, and you're gonna be seeing them on my podcast as well. So good luck with the event, Amanda. Thank you for inviting us this year. And you, my listeners, stay tuned. You're gonna see all the doctors with all of the speakers and the attendees and all the good stuff about the Low Carb for Better Health 2023.
Absolutely.
So we also had the opportunity to talk to Jennifer Williams. Jennifer Williams was part of the speakers at the Low Carb for Better Health event, and she's a nurse from Vanderbilt. She practices along with Amanda Decker at their weight loss clinic in Dixon, Tennessee. And Jennifer has developed her practice all about nutrition and helping people reversing metabolic diseases such as diabetes. Her speech this year to the Low Carb for Better Health audience was all about cortisol and the effect of cortisol into the weight loss journey. This is very important because it's not only the relationship of people with food, and the reasons behind people's disorders with eating not only the foods that are inappropriate and not healthy for themselves, also the portions. So she was addressing everything about all what is the effect of cortisol into the weight loss, and we're gonna listen this short talk that we have with Jennifer Williams before her speech into the Low Carb for Better Health event. Here it is, Jennifer. Jennifer Williams, welcome to the Low Carb for Better Health event. This is the second year of the event that Amanda Decker, your good friend, is organizing here in Dixon, Tennessee. We are very, very happy to be sponsoring the event with my Expressoul Coffee and my Expressoul Health and Wellness podcast. And it's so good to be here in Tennessee. This is so beautiful, and the venue is so gorgeous.
Amanda has done a phenomenal job. In just 1 year, seeing the growth out in this rural community is just, I can't even describe it. It's amazing.
It is nice also to see her following on social media. I mean, her Facebook groups, and they're very loyal, very active people, which I think it is because people really want to learn, want to see better ways in getting healthier, to regain control of their health. Yes. And my question to you, because I know here at the practice you have been specializing more into the keto diets, but also helping people into the diabetes. Mm-hmm. And I want you to tell my audience right now, one, what is the most common causes that you see on people that creates these diseases on them?
Oh, that's a challenge, because one, we're in the South, and we like to eat in the South.
Mm-hmm.
Not we, most people.
Comforting foods.
Yes. high carb, comforting foods, inexpensive foods, which is a challenge, however, not impossible if you just want to sit down and spend the time with your patients to teach them that it's absolutely possible. You know, it may not be the best, it may not be the healthiest option, but it's not the worst option. So that's something I have found that my patients find comfort in. And I also have found if you just sit down and listen to them and tell them that I believe you, I know that you're trying, and let's just sit and go over what you're doing now and where we can make a few small changes. And we celebrate those changes in a big way. I tell them I will be your biggest cheerleader. I don't care if it's just 5 pounds on the scale. And we have that model, 5 pounds of fat is this big. And when they see that, their face lights up and they're like, oh my gosh. And so we celebrate that. That's a big deal to me. And if it's a big deal to me, it's a big deal to my patients. And so it's very motivating.
So the programs that you are leading to help people to get metabolically healthier and reverse diabetes, because now we're seeing that that's happening and that's possible.
Yes, all the time. I love to de-prescribe.
Amazing. And basically what is de-prescribed?
Patients come to me on a lot of medication, a lot of insulin, and unfortunately patients have been told once you're on insulin, that's the end of the road. You have failed, and that is absolutely not the case. So when I sit down, I spend 15, 20 minutes with them and I explain what insulin does, how it affects your body, how we get to this point. Okay, now how can we fix it and turn it around? And it's amazing with the tools and just a few little tidbits of knowledge, what they can do in 2 weeks.
Amazing.
It's so, I mean, I can't describe it. I think I'm more excited than the patients are, honestly. And I would like to say that, you know, a lot of patients I see will leave my office with a very high A1C for diabetes, so very uncontrolled, and they would walk out of most endocrinology offices on insulin plus 3 other meds. I'm going to say, let's see what can happen in 2 weeks, because you've been running this high for months. Let's make a few changes. I'm going to use a tool, a continuous glucose monitor, and let's come back in 2 weeks and let's see what you can do. And it's amazing how often we can actually avoid medications.
That's amazing.
Or decrease them very quickly. So,
all right.
Yep.
So 2 weeks is kind of like the start point. But then when they start seeing these amazing effects and the changes in such a period of time, I mean, 2 weeks is not too long. And then you continue the companionship on the program.
Yes.
To make it permanent.
Yes. And they hit plateaus. And we tell them that, and everybody does, like, no matter what our goals are. But we just figure out, okay, what can we adjust? What can we tweak? What can we just fine tune to kind of regain that momentum, and they get back going again. And some people, their body weight may not be their ideal goal, but for them, they're healthy. They're metabolically healthy. And that's what's important. I want them to feel good. I always tell them, I do not want you to feel guilty. I don't want you to feel ashamed for eating something. If you feel that way, we're not doing something right. So we need to be realistic and reasonable with the changes we make, because a year from now, I really need you to be able to maintain this. So we spend a lot of time up front, but it's so worth it.
And it's something that I found special about the practice that you have and Amanda. And it is basically spending time with the person, understanding their lifestyle, their habits, and where you can help that person to make those little changes. Unfortunately, what we see in our medical, system is that the time that you have for your doctor appointment runs between 5 and 7 minutes in average in America. That are the latest stats. And you tell me in 5 or 7 minutes how much you can talk to your doctor or your doctor can talk to you. It's just very sad that is exactly what is happening. But thank God we got this kind of tools and practices like yours. And Amanda, where you can help the people.
We need to spend those 5 minutes listening and let them be heard. And I've had many patients break down in tears just saying thank you for believing me and for listening and not just telling me that I'm lazy and it's my fault and I just need to eat less and exercise more. And sometimes, and Amanda and I both have found this, there are underlying root causes that are preventing these patients from being successful. So those need to be on our radar too. It's not always just a lack of willpower at all. So we have to spend more time listening and then figure out how we can tailor advice and figure out which tools to give them so they can be successful. And then we follow up with them frequently. I always joke, I say, you're going to see a lot more of me than you probably care to for 3 months. But after that, we're going to space it out and it'll be okay.
Beautiful. So tomorrow, you're going to be the first speaker on a stage. Or what are you going to tell us tomorrow on this piece?
So my background is internal medicine and endocrinology, so mainly diabetes management. But in the recent years, I've developed a very big interest in cortisol. And that's also a very big topic in probably more functional medicine or media medicine, I would say. So I am going to address some of the myths and misconceptions of cortisol, what it is, and then make that connection of cortisol to diabetes and obesity and try to kind of put those pieces together.
That is beautiful. And I want you to reserve those thoughts because I want to invite you to my podcast. So we have you in a single podcast telling us all about cortisol. I think you're absolutely right. A lot of misconceptions in the general population or misinformation, I will say. And I think when we see the connection between elevated cortisol, inflammation, and metabolic health, then everything makes sense. When we see that 80% of our annual spending in the United States, which is almost $5 trillion a year on healthcare alone, 80% of those are dedicated to inflammatory diseases, chronic diseases. So prevention is key, and I want you to let us know all about cortisol in our episode that we're going to have with you in Expressoul Health and Wellness Podcast. So good luck tomorrow. And for you, my listeners, be tuned because we're going to be releasing some of that good info that the speakers at the Low Carb for Better Health are going to bring us tomorrow in this beautiful session at the Montgomery Bell State Park. And if you didn't see the event, you didn't tune for the event this year, I want you to think about it for next year because we're coming back. So thank you very much, Jennifer. We'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds great.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed the content of my talk with Amanda and all of those pictures about the event. I think it was phenomenal. That the attendees were amazing. We were supplying the coffee for the event, Expressoul coffee. We made the coffee at the event. We make my Sana blend, which is the organic coffee. We made Alma, which is the core of my brand, the Colombian gourmet coffee. And everybody has something to say about the coffee. They loved it. We gave away free samples of our coffee, so it was great. We want everybody to try the goodness behind the Expressoul coffees. Taste the difference between these coffees and the very well-known commercial available brands. They're not that good for you. So the Expressoul coffee was there, and we were talking to the attendees, we were talking to the doctors, and we're gonna be releasing those interviews right here in my channel. So stay tuned. And remember, until next time, health is wealth for the body, mind, and soul. Take care. And remember, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe right here and hit the notification button. Follow us in all our social media channels and leave us your comments and 5-star reviews. We highly appreciate that. And remember, down below, I have a code. Podcast15 is the discount code in which you can get my Expressoul coffees at the discount price. Remember that shipping is free after $50. So go to www.expressoulcoffee.com and order my coffees now. Discount code podcast15, podcast15, all in caps. See you next time.
Thank you very much for listening. And if you like the information that we shared with you today, please subscribe to the Expressoul Health and Wellness podcast and follow us in the social media outlets of your choice. Until next time, please remember, health is wealth for the body, mind, and soul.